you just the same. There's a baby.
All right.
Mary don't play no games.
Another episode of Hotboxin with me, Mike Tyson.
I'm DJ Whoo Kid.
Hey, tonight we have a very special guest. He's on a comedy tour with Cat Williams right now, and he's working with Cat Williams, Mark Curry, Tony Roberts, and Pretty Ricky. And I just like to say he's a good friend of mine, the brother. This is the quintessential Tommy Davidson. How you doing, brother?
The legend, man.
How you doing, man?
What's
Sure,
going on?
get it down, man. Get down, DC. Get down, get down.
All right. That's all I'm gonna do.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man.
So beautiful seeing
So
you, man.
good to
Seeing
see
all
you,
your
man.
success and stuff.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. So how you doing, man?
God's blessed me with more I did not even deserve. So I'm very grateful. I have my kids here. They're here to see you. My wife is somewhere around here. I don't want nothing else.
It's evident.
Yeah, I don't want anything
It's
else.
evident. You know, a lot of people from the outside, they probably say, you know, Mike is still out here. Mike is still out here. And I say yes, because God is good. And, you know, we just get a chance to just flourish. And it's just good. It's just good to see, man. It's just good to see, you know, your growth, our growth, and the fact that we're still out here. You know? And you, just as a person, I got to live in color because of you.
You
Now,
were
hold
saying,
on,
You
hold
were
on.
saying that. All right. This your
So
story.
what happened was this. All right, I went to audition for In Living Color. And I went to the audition. I didn't know anything about sketch shows. So they said, you need to be a Puerto Rican cab driver. And I tried to do that. You know, hey, it's okay. And I didn't think I did so well because they were like, thanks for coming. We'll see you. But they had a stand-up audition for stand-ups. And I was 30th out of 30 comics. And I'm talking about Martin, John Leguizamo. Everybody wanted that show.
Corey and all those
Joe,
guys.
everybody in town were for that show, and I was 30th. Jim Carrey, all of them, and so I always take on the characteristic of a boxer when it comes to
You do Sugar
comedy.
Leonard. Yes, brilliant.
We'll get into that too.
Yeah,
You know.
brilliant.
So I'm outside. I don't look at other comics, and I'm pacing back and forth. You know, and every 15 minutes, my manager would come back and say, you can't do that one because such and such did that joke. And you can't do that because such and such did this joke. So my set was whittling down. So thank God, the comedy God smiled on me because I did what was left of my act. And then I just made up this thing about Robin Givens is RoboCop.
What?
And it was this whole sketch that I did where she grabbed Mike and Mike, you will give me your wallet. You have 5 seconds to comply. You know, I'm not going to do that. You are going to do that. You know, and this whole thing, I got a standing ovation, and I got the show. That's how the connect is. Yep. And they were hot, and In Living Color was hot, and they were hot as a couple. And so we did our first sketch, was you and Robin.
I remember that.
That's
That was
what opened it up.
awesome
Yeah.
too. Listen, imitation is the highest form of flattery. I was just very grateful. Thank you.
We and Sugar Ray.
Oh, please do that. Oh, he's so brilliant.
You know, yeah, Sugar Ray, you know.
Oh, this is beautiful.
One thing I like about Sugar Ray is he try to make sense of stuff that don't make sense. So he talked about an hour and a half, but he ain't never really saying nothing. Like, for instance, Mother's Mother Haggard. Now, he's a puncher and he'll punch you. But if you get punched, you're punched. And once you're punched, you're going to be punchy. And I did that impression in front of him one time. I was in Queens, New York. And you forget, this nigga knocks people out for a living. Right? So he's sitting next to me, and I do this impression of him, and he looked at me for a couple seconds, like, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, he's really mean.
You know what I mean? But it's just, I don't know, I just admire you as a fighter because none of us can do that, you know? And it's the gladiator himself, you know? And it's just a hell of a gig. You know, my boxing coach told me that's the roughest sport because the result is a knockout. You see what I'm saying?
But without being a fighter, you can still be a gladiator. You know, gladiator is just spirit. Has nothing to do with the form or what form of work you do.
So true.
Yo, Mike, when you used to see him and he's like, he weighs like 80 pounds and he's boxing, what was going on
Gee,
in your head?
thanks.
I used to thought he was an awesome talent. He's a brilliant guy, and the epiphany is this: he used to kill Marcus Allen black about those white women.
Oh,
right?
my God.
Oh, he wanted. I know he
Oh, my
wanted to
God.
get you.
Well, you know.
Yeah, I know he wanted
Marcus,
to kick you.
Yeah, hey, listen, me and Marcus hung out back in the day, you know, and we like some of the same things, so we was cool.
I'm glad he
you
saw
know
you
what I mean?
with a white wife now. I know.
Hey!
What does he say about that?
Hey!
Listen, what does he say about that?
I haven't seen him.
Oh, God.
I haven't seen him, but he still got a shag. I don't know if you remember the shag. It's an afro that is about this long, but then it gets.
No, who has that shag?
Marcus Allen. Yeah, it's like a reverse mullet.
Get out of here. Show the picture, please.
Show Marcus
Get outta
today.
here. What?
Go to Marcus Allen, circa
The mullet. Just type
1980.
in the mullet.
He's next to OJ.
That's not a mullet right
That's
there.
a stabbing ready to happen.
You're a dirty dog, but it's beautiful.
There
That's
you
the
go,
mullet.
there
I
you
see the
go.
mullet.
See, and the helmet has pushed it in. The back end.
Like Kodak Black.
Okay?
Kodak Black.
But in the back of that is like an all black raccoon. You know, in the back of his head. So I'm just loving being around this long. You know,
you have
37
any
years.
grandkids?
No grandkids, but I made a new one.
I hear
Recently.
you. Cool.
Yeah, you know. Life
That's
is
what I had
for-
to do
yeah,
with those
That's what they
guys.
say, right? You know, be fruitful, right, guys?
Multiply.
Can you impersonate Mike?
You know what? I was never good at doing him. You know, I try. You know, I didn't
Baby,
have,
that sound like that,
yeah.
baby?
I didn't, you know. Whoa, okay.
Wow.
Come over here and sit right here. It's a family
On the
show.
spot. On the spot.
It's a family show. They just like a dad, right? You know, say whatever's on your mind. You know,
They kill me
say
all
whatever's
the
on your
time,
mind.
brother.
I mean, over the years of doing stand up, how many Mike Tyson jokes have you like put in your situation?
I actually didn't have a lot.
Oh, really?
I wasn't really a Mike Tyson basher kind of guy.
Well, you don't have to use him for
yeah,
bashing.
yeah, but I never really had him in my act. He only saved me one time, and that was the RoboCop joke.
Wow.
You know, because I always took Mike real serious. You know, Mike was
Think I'm a serious guy, dude?
about as serious as you can get when it came to what he did.
I mean, what was the rumors like in your world about Mike? Like, we heard all the craziness, like the clubs and the partying and all. I mean, when he would walk in, it'd be like Moses. Everybody would be spreading, and then Mike comes in and stops the party. Like, what was the rumors like in your
It wasn't no
circle?
rumors. It was like everybody scared of him. The hell you gonna say when he come to the club?
You hear this shit, Mike? Everybody was
The
so
hell you gonna say when
horrified
he
of
come to the
you.
club? You know what I mean? It was
I
like,
came over with love
you know?
and respect.
you know, he had one thing in mind. He had a one-track mind as a fighter. You know,
People told me I was like that back then.
you know,
I thought I was a nice
somebody
person.
going down.
Wow.
You know, but then there's a person there, and longevity has shown that. You know, longevity has shown that. You know, the whole world judges.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's hard to be the man in the arena. You know, it's all a ring. You know, whether you're an actor or a comedian or you're in the
It's a
ring.
fight. It's a fight.
You're in
Fight
the
for
ring.
life.
Yeah, you're in the ring.
You've been
You
fighting
know?
all your life, man. Like, you're on I mean, what side are you on? Because, you know, you're with Cat Williams, and that's not the usual, like, you know, scenario. You know, if you see, like, Cat, you see Kevin Hart, you see, you know, Eddie Murphy, everybody's like, they clicked up. I asked Cat Williams this last time, how is it to be on that side? Like, explain this world.
I'm kind of like the Bruce Lee of all the damn comics. You know, Bruce Lee took every technique and made him into one.
Jeet
You know what I
Kune
mean?
Do.
Yeah, Jeet Kune Do. And so he took boxing, he took judo, he took all of them and abbreviated them into one style. So I kind of fit into everything. You know what I mean? So I wondered, he was in an interview in 1968, and a guy asked him, how did you become such a great fighter? You know, he said, well, it's not really me, it's the way that I worked out. He said, I would work on the moves so long and so hard that they became the speed of a reflex. But a reflex is natural. So what I became as a fighter is I had a natural unnaturalness or an unnatural naturalness. So with me, I took that and added that to comedy. So I'm a little bit of everybody, you know. So if I'm with Cat, I'm with Cat, Mike Epps, you know, you name it, Martin. You know, on tours, I'm with the Living Color tour, and then I go out as myself. So it's just really my versatility.
He's not able to explain to the crowd right now that these guys look up to you. When you were doing your thing, they were little boys. You know what I mean? They seen you like Joe Torre and those guys. They seen you succeed in the local neighborhoods. You know, everybody knew that you had, you know, you was a winner. You know what I mean? It was not that. Now, that's what the talk was about you. You were a winner.
Ah, man. Thanks, man. You know, when I hit the sidewalk out here in Hollywood, it was really just me and Martin and Chris Rock.
Wow.
That hit the sidewalk. We were the new ones that came. We came out here probably in about 87.
Yeah.
You know, somewhere around about in there.
What's my man Robin Harris?
Robin Harris, the best.
The king.
Wow.
The king. The king. He was the best ever.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, man, wasn't he the best?
He was the best.
Greatest human being.
Yeah, and really sweet. Really
Yeah.
sweet man.
But
Was
don't
fast
go-
as I don't know what.
Yeah, but don't walk to the back.
Don't walk to the back. Don't walk
Don't-
to the back, boy, because
Don't
he
go
get
to
your
the
ass.
back, man. Wow, what a brilliant mind.
Yeah.
Golly.
Beautiful guy. Beautiful guy. And I was blessed to know him.
I believe
You know,
that as
yeah.
well.
I remember Martin called me crying. He said, Robin died. I was like, nah. Nah, man. So, but he gave rise to Bernie Mac.
Yep.
And
Bernie
he
Mac,
was out of
RIP
Chicago.
Bernie Mac. Yep.
That whole it was what was left of the Chitlin circuit. What was left
I met Martin there. On that,
at the Comedy Act Theater?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite a spell ago.
All the greats started there.
It was like the gym.
Yes, it was. All
You
the
know,
greats.
You three guys out there, who were the competitive comedians out there? Who were y'all going up against?
everybody.
Yeah, well, you know, being as young as we were, we got to the Comedy Store at the time when Adam Sandler
Oh, wow. Okay.
didn't have a movie career, or Tom Hanks was a comic, Michael Keaton was a comic, Roseanne Barr
Yes.
didn't have a TV show yet,
Wow.
Seinfeld didn't have a TV show yet. So we were in that training camp. You know, that's how we came up, and we got to see the excellence of all of them, and not borrow from them, but just really just work as hard. You know, and it's kind of different now because of social media. You know, so I can have the best set for an hour and kill it, and a kid could read the right poem and on TikTok and get 1 million hits.
That's crazy,
You know, on the
right?
toilet. You know what I mean? So, but it doesn't. But it doesn't say anything about live.
Okay.
You know, doing a live performance is different than anything. You know, and you want to define yourself as a performer, get in front of people.
That's what you want to do.
You know, yeah.
That's what I've had a show. My wife had written a show for me, Undisputed Truth, and I never understood the power of the theater on that stage and the people. I've never experienced. I never want to get off the stage when you're on the stage.
You did a good job in that too. That
Thank
was
you
cool.
very much.
That was really cool.
I know what the greats experience now.
That audience is.
Yeah. Oh, it's like a drug.
Is you kidding me?
Like a
and
drug.
it could also be like a bullet to your ass.
But listen, when
You know,
you're on
people-
stage,
yeah.
right? I see the people tell me what they want me to say. I can feel what they almost
Yeah,
like tell me
it's
what
an
they want
instinct,
me
right?
to-
You start
yeah.
to feel it. You start to feel it, man.
They're waiting for it. Yeah.
People come to me all the time, you know, I'm funny, man. You know, I'm funny as hell, man. You know, you got, I said, don't tell me, tell them motherfuckers.
Yes.
Because
yes.
as soon as you get up there, everybody looking straight at you. They ain't looking nowhere else. They looking at you.
That's crazy, right?
Make me laugh.
You have to
motherfucker.
make this guy laugh. He
Yeah.
doesn't want to laugh. He doesn't like you. He doesn't want to. Well, I gotta waste time on this guy.
I had to ignore that guy. Because sometimes I'll be doing a show, and one person wouldn't be laughing, and they be looking at me the whole time. And
That's
I'm
the
like,
only guy we think about.
Why are you not laughing?
Everybody's going crazy
The
with
one
him.
dude, right?
That's
I got
the
over
only
that
guy we
shit.
think about.
I got over it. I was like, you're not messing up the masses.
Yeah,
We're going to get it done.
We went through that with 50 Cent. You know, there's that one guy that just stands there, and then you have like a concert with 30,000
Going
people.
crazy.
You see that one dude, though, like,
Yeah,
you
it's
here?
like-
Why are you here?
But listen, this is how it is. That's all our insecurity. We got 10,000 people going nuts, 100,000 people going nuts.
We gotta impress
And this one guy, 100,000 people losing to this one guy. That's
right.
It's your problem.
That's right.
That's how that guy keeps our ego in check.
Yep, he does. He does. And it's like with social media, you gotta watch out because, you know, people get to make comments.
But this is what I found out. They're enjoying the show. They just not
sit up
this
on this
kind of
pillow.
guy.
Yeah,
They're
it's a little
enjoying the
taller in
show. They're enjoying the show. They didn't come here. They just they're not emotional like that. They love the music. You know,
But one person's comment gets
oh,
heard,
absolutely.
you know, I had a book out, and Amazon had comments, you know, and this one lady said, "I loved Tommy Davidson before I read this book,
Oh shit.
and now I hate him."
Really?
And I was like, damn. Well, why would you put her comment on there? And that's when I realized social media is kind of like the stalls in the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
Anybody writes something, everybody get to read it.
I just think this. You know, I was raised at a mentor, Customato, and he says, if everybody in the world love you, you're not living your life right.
That's the way, you know, and the way I started out in life, you know, in between black and white, you know, and just trying to be comfortable in that. It taught me that I just got to be versatile, and I got to go for happy. You know, I go for happy. That's what I do. I'm more than a comedian. I dispense happy.
Yeah.
You know, like surgeons, they do open heart surgery. I do closed heart surgery. You ain't got to cut. You ain't got even be cut open. If I'm in the room, I'm going to raise the room, and that's my gift. You know.
I think that's a very God gifted talent. It's very difficult to make someone laugh. You know, I make them laugh because I have the time and my wife has the words. You know, but doing it on the stage by myself, there's no way I'll be able to do that if I didn't have my wife supporting me.
Is there a kangaroo in here with a top hat on? Okay.
Why?
I think I'm
Why?
right. Okay.
You seen
think-
things?
yeah,
You
I think I'm right.
you're not taking mushrooms? Have you ever took mushrooms before?
Huh? Nah. Never took mushrooms, but I took acid one time. That lasts for about a week.
That's pretty cool as well.
Yeah.
I never did acid.
Yeah, tell me
what is
about
that
it, you know.
What is
Excuse
that
me?
like? I never did acid.
Acid.
What is that?
It
That's
depends,
like,
it depends on the doses.
Yeah,
Everything depends
that's
on
like
the doses.
being in Small World for 2 years.
Nah.
Yeah. Like being in Small World for 2 years and you were only on it for 2 hours.
And,
Yeah,
you know,
good
it's,
dose.
it's an experience. It's an experience with God. You know.
That one's for the children.
You don't
Man.
smoke weed, Tommy, right?
Perfect. Nah, man, I started thinking about children around the world and
Tell me
you know,
more
I start
about that.
tripping.
I like
Yeah.
that. Tell me more.
I start
about
tripping, you know. I can't. Weed is stronger than.
That. It does
when I
make
was
you
in
cry
DC.
sometimes. You do
Yeah.
weed or shroom, mushrooms.
Yeah, a friend of mine came to me and he was like, you know, I hadn't smoked weed since I was since Mary Jane was out.
What? Like the original?
Mary Jane,
weed,
Mary Jane,
weed.
right.
Mary
yeah,
Jane.
Mary
Rick
Jane.
James?
I love you just the same. There's a baby.
All right.
Mary
Jane.
don't play no games.
All right, well,
I
anyway.
wasn't expecting that.
So he said, you know, you're going under a lot of stress. Why don't you try to just smoke a joint? You know? So I'm like, okay, I'll try that. And first of all, it was this big, like a muffler, right? And I took 2 hits off the thing, and I was like Lawnmower Man and shit.
What?
I was like, what the fuck? So I decide, I'm so high, I can't even hardly drive. So I decide I'm going to go, the only place I can really go that no one can see me and I can just chill for a couple hours is the movie theater. Right? So I go to the movie theater. I got this great idea. I'm going to just go in there for a couple of hours and I'll come down. I pull up to the movie theater. I go get out my car and like 3 buses of kids show up. And they're like, Tommy Davidson. And I'm like, you know, hey, what's happening? You know, how y'all doing? Y'all all right? Everybody cool? And the teachers were like, look at that son of a bitch. Anyway, that's my weed story.
That's crazy because you and Mike kind of like went to the Acmes and then y'all went to the highest point and then y'all got fucked up there.
Hey, man, hey.
And then
You
when
know,
when
life
did
happens.
that start? Like
Life happens.
all that drug stuff, like because you know we're looking outside in, yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
it didn't happen in my neighborhood because my neighborhood was the drug neighborhood.
Oh shit.
You know, so with me, I was like, I would be the most likely, unlikely person to do that. But I got in Hollywood, and I said, I'm going to have me a wine cooler. And I had a wine cooler, and that just opened my mind up to do the next thing and to do the next thing.
Wow.
So
Really?
it's not something that I did on purpose. It's just life's journey. I wouldn't have turned out like I am now if it wasn't for it. You know, and I saw with the neighborhood I grew up in, I saw just constant tragedies.
Yeah.
You know, my football coach got stabbed in front of me, you know, got stabbed to death in front of us by his girlfriend. You know, just stuff that I seen. If somebody got killed in my neighborhood, you knew it because this woman would be on my couch crying with my mother. That's how often it happened, you know.
I'm familiar with that word.
Yeah, so it was just a part of my journey, you know. And ain't a person in here that ain't been through something personal.
Well, if they didn't do
Yeah,
it yet,
that one life test.
they will.
You know. Yeah.
You have to go through that in order to be a man or a woman. You know, if you survive it.
Mm-hmm. It's just what it's about.
I mean, do you consider yourself lucky that you survived it, or you just fought your way to get out?
Yeah, I consider myself fortunate.
Okay.
You know, because my survival had nothing to do with me. It had to do with the power that's greater. I was left in the trash.
Yeah.
To die.
That's crazy.
And the woman that found me, she found me random. So that had nothing to do with me. You know?
Damn.
Nothing at all. You know? So I didn't even know I was black until I was 5. Because she was white from Wyoming and from Colorado. So that's where I grew up. So I didn't find out I was black till I was like 5 because we moved to Washington, D.C. During the riots when King got shot.
Wow. Damn.
And that's the first time I dealt with it because they beat my brother and sister's ass and my ass every day. And we're saying, kill the white crackers and kill the white cracker lover. And I was 5, so I went to my mother and I was like, you know, why are they saying I like white crackers? I like graham crackers because I was 5. You know what I mean? And then we moved from there to the suburbs. This is the first time I heard the word nigga because grown men were chasing me home. I was barely getting in the house. You know, like, kill the nigga, kill that nigga, kill that nigga. They were throwing stuff through our windows. And so I went to my mother. I said, who are these niggas we got to stay away from?
Oh, shit.
You know, these must be some bad people. And that's when she explained to me. That's what people our color call people your color when they don't like them. You know? Because I always thought that we were like animals. Because I grew up on farms in the Midwest. So I saw a lot of litters. You know, so a cat can be a black cat. It'd have 2 white kittens, a speckled kitten, an orange one. You know what I mean? Or a dog could have puppies. It could be a white dog and have 3 black ones, you know, 1 speckled one, a gray one. And I thought that's how we were as people. You know, so I thought whatever I was a brown one.
We are kind of.
You know, I know that's the truth, you know. It's what I had to come to, you know.
Well, listen, it's all about who you think. Listen, a white family adopted me when I was 13.
I know yeah.
So I didn't even look at them as, you know they're white,
That's right.
but they show that they're down with you. They show that they'll fight for you, they die for you, and you know I die for them too. That's just what it is with family.
Hey.
You know, some people we make our own family.
Love has no color, I found out.
No.
You know, we wouldn't be different colors if it wasn't for it. Because way back in the day.
No way.
Yeah, like way back.
I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here.
No, but when one tribe came across another, and they said, and the girl said, those guys over there, that color look pretty good. And the guy said, those girls over there look pretty good of that color. And that's how this happened. A whole lot of begatting. You heard that in the Bible, begatting.
But listen, life has just gotten so advanced, and you look at the commercials. You see most of the commercials are mixed families now. So that's where the future is going.
Or the advertising knows about it.
No, that's just what
You know?
they know where the future is going. The future is going in mixed race families.
Naturally, you know.
We're taking in so many immigrants.
Wow, yeah, you're right.
You know, we're taking so many immigrants, and that's how we become such a what they call a mutt nation.
Yeah,
But I think we produce the greatest people on the planet. I don't know. I don't call myself a mutt. I just think I've been enriched with all the people in the world.
Same here. And all of us, it's just the big lie. You know, I think the color we need to fear the most is green.
Chasing
that green. Because of that, we do the things that we do. You know, so
Yeah, I could see that.
I'm just glad to be here. I came to see you in jail. Remember that?
That was prison.
Prison. Well, jail,
Yeah, prison.
I know you was locked up, motherfucker.
Yes, I was. Thanks for coming too.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
It
I
was just me and him.
Can you talk about that? Like, how was that? Like,
Yeah, man, because I know what it's like. You know, and he was in there by his fucking self, you know, trying to figure out what the hell happened. And I just didn't want him to be in there not thinking nobody loved him.
Wow.
So I went in there my damn self, and we had a talk. We had a nice long talk, and I was leaving.
Yes.
And here I am thinking I'm telling him something. You know, and I was going through stuff too. And he told me right before I was leaving, it's a long hallway, and you come out the bars and all this stuff. So I was walking down the hallway. He said, "Hey, Tommy." I said, "Yo." He said, "Ikhra." And I said, "What?" He said, "Ikhra." And I was like, "Well, what does that mean?" He said, "Read." You know? He said, Muhammad couldn't read.
Wow.
You know? So God told him, "You read life." So as I was leaving, Mike said, "Just read life." And now I got a great H&M fucking turtleneck on.
You looking good, brother, by the way. You looking good. You look like those rich white people look. You know,
Hey!
They wearing black all the time.
Hey,
It's
man!
one black outfit, you know, your pretty sneakers on, tipping
Yeah,
around.
that's my billionaire look. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
my
his
billionaire
beautiful
look.
glasses
You
on.
know what it is.
Oh, it's beautiful,
It's
baby.
a billionaire look.
It's
you know?
beautiful. Black is sexy, baby.
Hey, man. Hey, man. So just, you know, when I saw the show, you know, and I said, one day I'm going to do the show. So I got the call. And here I am.
I'm happy to have you, man. I'm happy to have you. You know, no, what are you about to say?
Yeah, what
No
you
one's gonna say anything. I'm just.
I was just saying.
I'm bugged out over like the like everybody has an interaction with Mike, man. Like
Yeah,
one way or
man.
another.
Hey,
every last person, like every human being.
Yeah, man. He, you know, it's just what it is. It's just what it is.
I feel
Ran
like
into-
everybody that has a point in anything with success in life and entertainment, sports, I mean, movie star. I mean, everybody has a Mike Tyson story.
No, listen. Yesterday, no, day before yesterday, I was in the airport. And I was waiting for my flight, and the man came over to me and said, "Hey, I took a picture of you 10 years ago with my daughter. She's over there now. Can I take another picture with you 10 years later?"
Wow.
And I said, "Whoa." He had the picture of me and her, white cat. And then he said, and we took a picture 10 years later.
So I want to ask some boxing questions.
Go for it.
All right. Who do you think was the best fighter to you, like, that you modeled yourself after?
I don't know, Sonny Liston, Jack Dempsey, George Foreman. Because those guys can beat you to death.
Okay.
I wanted to be like them.
Right. One of the greatest fighters I ever saw was Salvador Sanchez.
Oh, we talked about him today,
Yeah.
right? Then we talked about Salvador
Yeah,
today.
that's my man. That's why I
We
used to
talked
model
about-
my thing after, boy.
I always said this: if you're a half-ass fighter, you might go the distance. But if you're a great guy, he's gonna fucking
You're
humiliate
gone.
you.
You're gone.
If
He
you got a
had-
big reputation, you came up from another division, you were a great super
Yeah,
fighter.
yep.
He will fucking
gone.
demolish you.
his focus was
He will demolish you.
And he went early.
He died in the
Yeah, he
car
died
accident,
real early.
champion.
Yeah, so you wouldn't.
He was
you
getting
know.
ready. Listen, the guy that was here today, he was getting ready to fight his father. Imagine that fight, Alexis Arguello and Chisam. I just think Guayo's too big for him. What do you think? I think Arguello was too big and strong for him.
Okay, so Camacho and Edwin Rosario.
I was
Who
at that
won that
fight.
fight?
Rosario won that fight.
Oh shit.
He won that fight. He won that fight.
Now what? Now what?
He won
won it
that
easily.
fight.
Yeah, he won it easily. They just gave it to the more popular
You know,
guy.
he is popular.
You know, because Rosario, I liked him because he can go both ways, both pauses. And he fought
But
center.
Camacho's
He
a
was
bad
unbelievable. He
pretty.
was.
He was bad.
He was, but that night, Edwin got him.
Yeah, we all have a bad night, but
All right.
everyone became champion again anyway. But and then he's not with us anymore.
Right. Ray Robinson.
No,
No, I'm just
Edwin
asking you, Ray
Rosario.
Robinson. What do you think about him as a fighter?
Woo!
That's what I'm talking about.
Woo! Yes,
That's it.
Mean.
He's
Just
fast.
like listen, know why I respect these guys. These guys that they be kicking people ass, beating people ass, and then when somebody start beating their ass, they can't take it. Oh, these guys can take it.
Oh man, how many
They
fights
can
did they
take
have?
it. He had 201 fights.
That's what I'm saying.
But he had 500 amateur fights.
That's what I'm saying.
As a kid, he
That's
started
what I'm
at 10
saying. They
years
were
old.
real- yeah.
500. Can you
You had
imagine
it.
having 500 fights? So he turned pro late, like 21, right? But he had 500 or 600 amateur fights. So he went from his first fight was a 10-rounder. He just went at the top from the beginning. Imagine having all those fights.
Yeah, the fight game, boy. It's amazing. You watched Ray, that whole trilogy. Ray, hold on, Duran, Benitez, Hearns,
man.
right?
Oh,
You watch that. How did that influence you as a boxer? They wanted to fight each other. It wasn't like, I got to get the money to fight them or whatever. They wanted to fight.
listen. I met Ali and I wanted to be a fighter, right? But I didn't know if I could really do it. But I wanted to do it. That's what the ran and Leonard won. Ooh, that's what I want to do. I want to do that for the rest of my life. That's it.
Wow.
Oof, what a fight.
Yep.
Look like ballet dancing.
Yep. And it's always the second fight where you really know
Oh,
who they are.
they was
The adjustments that they make
listen,
and everything.
Sugar
That was
Ray Leonard, man,
yeah.
people that under me, he's just a junkyard dog with a pretty face.
He's a beast.
He's a mean
He's a
motherfucker.
beast.
You ever saw that
and
video?
he's
Don't
always-
let that. Don't
and
let
he's
that.
always-
Don't let
and
that.
he always
go
go
for-
like, oh God,
yeah,
thank you very
blah, blah, blah,
kindly.
blah.
Oh, he'll kill
If
you.
he turns it on,
He'll kill you.
that first one against Hearns.
Oh, he'll kill you.
Come on.
Have you seen
Yeah,
that
he'll
video
kill
with him
you.
when he's like punching the bag and you can't see his fists?
Hey man, he was
Yo.
great fighter.
He says he becomes somebody else too, like while he's going.
Yeah,
there.
he's got two. There's two of
Yeah.
them. There's two of him.
Yes.
There's two of all of them. Because once you're in that ring, it's a different thing,
He has all the characteristics of a killer, very humble and kind, and then get in the ring, he's just a nasty motherfucker.
Yep. Break it down on you.
Yeah.
Yo,
Break it down on you.
in your world, like as far as comedy goes, like influence.
Influence.
Who created this crazy motherfucker right here?
I'm gonna have to say with comedy, it was Pryor.
Pryor.
It was Pryor. Because Pryor was the one, because he had the versatility. He can do characters, and he can talk about things without you knowing he's talking about it.
Oh wow.
So he can talk about racism. He can talk about sexism. He can talk about all those things, but he puts it in such a comedy context. You can't tell what you're getting until later you start thinking about it.
Yeah, I know, but listen, I think
it's afterwards.
Eddie's the greatest.
Mm-hmm.
It's my opinion. I think Eddie's the greatest.
Eddie
Okay,
Murphy.
okay. I'll
He
give
was
it.
the greatest.
He is,
in
hey,
his day, he was
I
the
wish he was
greatest.
still doing it because he's one of the best. Eddie got to do a stand up again.
I think so too.
I would love to see him. He's
Ooh.
naturally funny anyway.
I know that all that insecurity, all these great acts out now, and if you go on stage, the greatest comedians in the world will be right there in the stand looking
Yep,
at you.
looking at him. They waiting on him.
Woo! Yes,
He's,
they are.
He's one of the greatest, man. I looked
He's
up
singing
to him.
it. He's
I can't
doing
leave
songs.
him out. I can't leave him out. I can't leave him out because when I came out here, it was because of Eddie, because my friend Howard, he's the one that got me into comedy. Because I got a new job at a Ramada Inn as an assistant chef.
Wow.
And I called my friend Howard. We grew up in the same project together. And Howard grew up rough. He had 12 brothers and sisters. They were so poor they ate in shit. They ate in shifts and shit. And a bad building, one of the worst buildings. His mother, man, his father used to beat her so bad she'd be crawling down the hallway bleeding, naked. And he was my best buddy. And I called him and told him I got a job at the Ramada Inn as a chef. He said, "You about the stupidest motherfucker I ever met in my life." He said, "You can be out in Hollywood. You could be doing movies. You could be just like Eddie Murphy. You wasting your time." And so I was like, "You just mad because you ain't got no fucking job." So he hooked me up with a show at the worst strip club in D.C., hands down.
Which one was
Called
that?
The Penthouse.
Oh, I think
The
I've
worst.
been to that one before.
The worst. The
I had
bodyguards
to go to the
outside.
Penthouse. Triples, remember
Yeah.
Triples?
Oh yeah, I remember Triples.
Oh,
yeah.
Triples.
The bodyguards had words on their back that said, "Don't shoot him." The shit was bad. Okay? So I finally went down to this club, and the manager comes out, all right, you got 5 minutes, man. And I looked at Howard, and I said, "Howard, what am I supposed to do?" He looked me right in the eyes. He told me, "Motherfucker, I don't care what you do. Just say something on that mic." And from the first thing I said, everybody laughed.
Wow.
And I'm sitting here now. That's how it happened.
Cold-blooded.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it happened. And there's a link to it. Because Howard came to my house on Christmas morning because my mother loved him. And he had a paper bag. He was the openest present at our house. He had a paper bag with a bow on it. When he opened it, he had a 3 those little plastic army men and an orange.
Back in the day.
That's what he got for Christmas. So my mother told me.
I had
I
those
used to-
green men with
yeah.
little
Yeah.
stand. You put them on.
Yeah, you put them on and they stand in
Yeah.
there. So my mother, I thought she was crazy.
They're green,
You know,
right?
yeah, they green and they all in the same pose. You know, no matter what, you move them around, they got the same pose.
Such a poor
You know
man's
what I mean?
toy.
Yeah. So my mother tells me, come here. And I used to think she was crazy. So she says to me, I want you to give Howard one of your watches. I was like, I ain't giving Howard one of my fucking watches. I didn't say that. I would die. But I said, I'm not giving him one. I said, why? She said, because you got two. Your grandmother, parents gave you one, and I gave you one. So pick the one you want to give to him. And I gave it to him. And I was mad. But look what he gave me in the future. Okay, that was to the crickets out here.
That's crazy.
No, we just need that one guy in our life.
Mm-hmm.
Like I met my mentor. It's that one guy in our life that can give us hope for a better life.
Yeah, you just keep on going.
Absolutely.
You just keep
But
on
what they
going.
taught you when they leave you is keeping what they taught you, but you taking it to the next level.
And that's for everybody.
Yeah.
It's a build up of good information.
But you know what's crazy? Before you even disappear, looking outside in, especially with a living color, it looked like a big family. You know how we used to watch it, Mike? We laugh and everybody looks like they're having fun.
We were, man.
But years later, you hear all the,
Different
arguments
personalities.
for, what is it, for TV time, arguments, jokes, the writers, beef with writers, y'all were trying to write your own shit. It's like so many complicated
I never
things.
heard that.
Yeah, and when was the last time you saw J-Lo?
Last time I saw J-Lo, probably about 11 years ago, on the subway platform in one of her videos, and for the fourth time she egged me and shit.
What?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So and her manager was like, "Go down there and see her. Go down there and see her." I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna kind of stay away from her."
Some people just want to keep moving it.
And she just turned around, waved, and turned back around. That's the last time I saw her.
Wow.
Some people are elitists.
Yeah, but I admire her success, and she's a badass actress, and she's done very, very well with herself. But I think her people skills are very here.
Really?
Because me and her, I thought we were good friends on In Living Color. So to not speak to me at all, I want to hear about your success. I want to say, hey, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
How did this happen? How did that happen? So she just,
It's up to her to do
know
what
what I
she
mean?
wants.
Who was the crazy one? Jamie Foxx?
I don't know if there was a crazy one. I think the crazy one was Jim.
Oh, really? Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
Wow.
That's my man.
He's
He'll show
awesome.
you.
He's
he'll show
awesome.
you how far you can go with something.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody used to do sketches with him because he stayed there for hours. For hours. But I would give you an example of how he works. You want to move this table? Can you get a camera angle?
We could do whatever you want.
Huh? I'm gonna try to do it here. All right, move your feet. All right, so this is me and I'm talking to him, right? And he's supposed to fall on the ground for a second and get up, and I'm supposed to hit him with sutures, right? So I'd say the line, right? And so he falls, right? Bang, right? He falls, right? And he's on the ground, right? So for 4 minutes, he's doing this.
What is going on?
Gets up, I'm talking about for 4 minutes, and does it again, and does it again, and does it again, and does it again, and does it again. And the director's like, stop, and he keeps doing it and keeps doing it, and everybody's dying. That's commitment. That's why he is where he's at, and I learned that from him.
What was the heat about though? Wayne's brothers, they all had it looked so perfect. It was one of the best shows. I thought it would never come out off of TV.
It's like the girls' bathroom at a nightclub. All of them want to be seen.
Wow.
All of them want theirs. And you got to understand, it was a big cast. That was a lot of funny people in the same place. And we all wanted some light. Because look at that. A new house is at stake, a new car, being the man. You know, so it was tough because there was only a couple of spots, and you had to be funny.
I mean, you had outrageous characters. Was there jealousy off your, they let you had a lot of TV time, you know?
Nah, because I think my talent showed.
Okay.
You know, no matter what I did, I got through. Like there was a character that I was stuck in the kitchen. I only had a window that big.
Mm.
And I was like, what am I going to do to be funny in this sketch? And then that's where that was born. Pick it up. Who said it was Salisbury steak? Pick it up. Who want hot dogs? Who said steak? Who said cake? Pick it up. And that's how it happened.
They picked you up.
Or the one with me and David Allen Greer.
Wow.
You know?
How's he doing?
You know, he's doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing exactly what he want to do. So on Broadway, getting it done.
That's all that matters.
So my stuff stuck out
Mm-hmm.
because he'd ask me for a business card, and I'd go, "Oh, here's my business card." He said, "How are your business card?" Bam! You see what I'm saying? Everything was put in the right perspective.
I'm just happy everything's going great for you, brother. I can't be happy enough.
I wouldn't have missed this for the world.
I'm just very grateful for you to pass by. That was good.
So now I'm gonna go get me some chicken because I'm hungry. And
Where do you eat chicken at?
I don't know, but I think I got the munchies because.
You got the back.
No, because you that weed, you inhaled
Yeah, I
that
think
weed.
because
Is
my
my wife
mouth all
gonna be all
dry.
right with that storm?
It's crazy you hear that.
Yeah.
My mouth all dry, this bitch, I'm about out of here.
Milan, you want to call mommy and see if she's still alive? Yeah. I worry about when my people not with me. That's how it is.
How you guys doing?
We're doing awesome. What the hell are you talking about?
No, it's not like a lull in conversation. I just wanted to say what's up.
Hey man, you
She's
tell
trying to
us.
bring up the room.
Do you want to talk about what you got going on right now? Anything
The
This
Proud
is-
Family's number one
The what?
in the world. The Proud Family, my
I
cartoon.
had no idea
Wow.
you were.
Yeah,
you
I'm the voice of Oscar Proud.
Really?
Mm.
And Cedric was
Hold
here.
on.
Cedric said he was
Morocco,
part of
hold
that.
on. You know that? Yeah. P.A., where you at? Sugar Mama! Ah! Okay.
You listen to that shit? You
Yo.
listen to that for real? Holy
Holy
shit.
shit. What?
Yeah, that's there. You know.
You know this, Milan? Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's the number one show in the world.
Yeah.
Fire.
Can you get him out the house?
Congratulations. I don't get out the house much.
You got to turn him on to that one. You know, I've been doing music, smooth jazz. It's been going good.
Eddie has good music out,
Mhm.
too.
Who now?
Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
I heard it in Dubai.
Okay, well, I got to
Saudi
hear that. I got to
Arabia.
hear that to believe that.
Sound good. Well, they told me it was
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
When you heard party all the time, what was going on in your head? Did
was
y'all
like,
both
what?
turn up?
I was like, what the hell? Well, because
You
I
heard
grew
party
up,
all the time,
you know, 'cause I
Mike.
grew up.
Huh?
You dance to party
Yeah.
all the time. Party all the time.
It was successful.
Duh.
Yeah, but it wasn't, it wasn't my preference per se. You know what I mean? Party all the time, party all the time.
Listen.
My girl wants to party all the time, party all the time, party all the time. You know, I was off.
That was
into,
a hit, though.
You know, hey man,
That was a
you know?
hit.
But so was what was that? So was Rocket Man. You remember Rocket Love.
Yeah. Which one
you remember
was that?
Stevie Wonder?
Which one was that?
Took me riding on your rocket
Yeah,
and
that's
gave
it.
me a stop because I
that
have
the
a mile of
movie?
heaven. You drop me back down in this cold world. You know,
Yeah,
I grew up
good,
with
man.
music. I didn't
That's
want
real
to be a
music.
comedian.
Yeah, I agree.
I wanted to be a singer. So those were my fans. I mean, I was a fan of music. Jackson 5 from the very
That's
start.
what I was gonna bring up. Is
Johnny
Michael Jackson the
Knoxville.
easiest to do? Is Michael Jackson like the easiest out of all the impersonations?
Yeah,
Countless people.
for me.
do. Yeah.
For me. Yeah, and that's where I got some good success out of In Living Color, too.
Mm.
Was doing the black and white video.
He ever hit you up for that shit? Like,
Yeah, I
what
met
you
him.
doing? Oh wow.
Yeah.
What do you
If
say?
you met Michael,
Yeah.
if you see Michael, he's bigger than you think. You might have to deal with his ass.
You know I'm 5'10", right?
Yeah, Michael's about here. You know, right here and a little bit
I
wide.
heard it. He cursed.
Yeah,
I
if you
couldn't believe
caught in
he
the
cursed.
elevator, if you caught in the elevator with him and he decide they gonna go at you, it ain't gonna be no little. How you gonna whip your ass?
He's
You got
so-
5 brothers. I mean, like 6 brothers, man.
He's so weird because he had regular clothes when I was in Saudi, like I was in Bahrain with him, and then he left, and then he came back as Michael Jackson. He had the glitter, he had all the it's like a
Hey, man,
a
that's a
superhero.
show, baby.
Hey,
That's
man.
crazy.
Hey, man.
Huh?
Look
That's
what
for dinner.
Yeah, but look what he did to this world.
Mm.
And what he
We'll
left,
never
he had
forget him.
had a one-way ticket. And look what he left us. You know, man in the mirror.
Mm.
You know, he said, if there's problems in this world, it's up to you.
I cried when I saw that video.
Who does that?
Mm-hmm.
Who's telling that kind of truth? You know.
You didn't cry.
I've
when
been to
you
one
saw
of
that
his
video?
concerts before.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Yeah, just a beautiful
You cried,
artist.
Mike? I
beautiful
cried
artist.
like at some of the songs. Were you touched?
Well, I was very touched. I might have cried, but I was just thinking
You
about
cried, right? Yeah.
the possibility. But I was just thinking about after knowing him, getting to know him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't like him before I knew him because he dissed
As
me
a
for some
person.
reason. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. As a person.
when I first met him. And so Rodney Jergens was producing his music. So
Wow.
Rodney just started hanging with him, taking care of him.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me to come over. And I came up first. I ain't coming over there. He dissed me. He said, well, Mike told me to ask you to come over. I said, really? And I went there right away. So it was just amazing getting to know him.
Mm-hmm. He's a
Yeah.
really, I
He's a
didn't get to
normal
know him
guy,
like that.
great businessman.
I didn't get to
Wow.
know him like that, but he invited me to his house to perform, and I didn't believe it.
Oh wow.
His assistant called me and said, Michael wants you to come over to his house and perform. And I was like, you lying?
When I saw him, I was
You know?
showing all of them. I was
Mhm.
just cool. And he asked me, he said, how you doing? I said, I just been taking it easy. He said, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
taking it easy, getting rest. And make sure you get rest. I had no idea he couldn't sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea.
Oh wow.
Real person, you know.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Real
Smart,
person.
very smart,
Mhm.
intelligent, articulate.
But he cheap though.
Excuse me?
He cheap,
Tell me about that.
huh?
Tell me about
He
his
cheap.
cheapness.
I went over there to his house. I was there all day. Me and my daughter took a limo all the way there. I ain't get paid. I'm cool, right? The whole day. I'm talking about the
for free
whole
for
day.
Michael
The whole
Jackson?
day. Went to Santa Barbara. You know,
Wow.
did a performance. I was the MC and everything.
Wow.
You know. So when I got home, I called the person who asked me to do the show.
Yeah.
And I said, so here's the limo bill. And she said, Michael doesn't do that. I was like, what? She said, Michael doesn't pay for things. I said, well, shit, he bought that nose or something. Shit.
What are you laughing at?
He bought something. So, I'll say that about him, because that's how it really went down. But that dude is rich in character.
Mm-hmm.
Every movie that I did, he was at the theater watching it.
Oh wow.
You didn't know it was him because he came in the
Yeah, he
back.
always comes in.
And I always used to see my movies on Friday because that was the premiere. So I got to see it with the first audience and I could see what I did in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because acting is different than comedy. You get your laughs right away. So you got to see where your laughs are. So I went to Booty Call on a Friday, look back, and he was way in the back watching my movie. And then another one was Bamboozled.
Mm.
You see Bamboozled? That was another one he came to, but he would look like a sheik.
Oh yeah, the
When
Arabic
he came
gear.
in,
Yeah.
he wore the Arab gear. So me and Kid from Kid and Play, we came into the movie and we there was some chairs roped off. So we said those are our chairs, and they were like, nah, that's Michael Jackson. I was like, get the fuck out of here. So we go to watch the movie and we look
crazy.
back and sure enough, he's in the theater. And then I got a long email.
You ever talk to him?
from
You ever
him.
talk to him? Huh?
I got a long email from him after he died. My agent gave me an email that he sent my agent. I was like, why you wait to show me this?
Oh wow.
And it was a long email about how much he admired what I was doing and the impressions and everything.
But,
So he was balanced.
Yeah,
you
he
know?
was.
Mm-hmm.
But like when I met him, because it's all being in the room, just chilling just like this. No one's saying anything to anybody. Just chilling out.
Mm-hmm. Another person walking this earth.
What's the Tupac story? How's that?
No. I didn't really hang out with Tupac, but he came to do our show.
Mm-hmm. How was that? Like,
All I know is that he didn't seem that gangster as he comes off.
was it during Digital Underground or he was the
He
gangster
was
Tupac?
Tupac.
Oh, he was Tupac.
Yeah, he was Tupac.
Oh
But
wow.
he was just so sweet. When I met him, he was just like, hey, Mr. Davidson, I really respect what you're doing. And blah, blah. He didn't come over. He went, yeah, yo, what's up, cuz?
Well, you didn't get
he
him
wasn't
mad
there.
at you. That's why.
yeah, know what that.
I think he's a little bit smaller than me.
Huh?
He's a little bit smaller.
Oh, but in Rage, he's
Yeah.
bigger than everybody in
Yeah.
there. In
Yeah, but I
Rage,
got technique.
he's gonna shoot you, man. What are you talking about?
Yo, Mike is crazy.
Man, I'm telling you, he's gonna shoot you. He ain't gonna fight you.
What the fuck that got to do with technique?
Yeah.
Over the years, is there a form of depression for trying to get like the best jokes? Like you always got to be funny. Is there some form of depression
They
for
say a lot
comedians?
of comedians are
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah, nah. It's my oxygen. Because of comedy, I get to be happy more than the average person. You know, and I think it was a plan. I was left alone in the trash,
Mm.
so God gave me a gift that makes people happy as soon as they see you. So I can hardly get down. Like if I had something going on at home or something didn't work out for me, and I'm on a plane all night, and I'm getting off the plane and I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh man, that situation, it never fails. Two people will walk up to me like, man, will you meet my grandmother, man? Meet my grandmother, man. My
Wow.
grandmother loves you. So I can't get but so down. It's kept me up. And I don't know anybody in here who laughs and watches people laugh their ass off every weekend.
Wow.
And I laugh at the speed of the audience now.
Mm.
So I'm laughing before it can come out. And it's almost like they know almost what I'm gonna say.
That's how I feel on
You know.
stage. They tell me what
You
they
know.
want to hear, pretty much.
Yeah, it just brings out. I'm not like the baggage person at the airport. The first thing they hear in the morning is "fuck my bag." You know what I mean?
Some people need that too.
Yeah, you have your coffee. You having your coffee, and you're like, "Oh, good morning. How are you doing, man?" You know.
Is
So
there
I'm gonna-
is there someone that saved your life? Like everybody has somebody that is the catalyst that you couldn't let, like.
A series of people.
Is that person still alive that saved that saved you?
No, he passed away. But
Oh, wow.
there's a series of them. Like my supervisor at Naval Medical Hospital I used to work at.
Mm.
I worked in the kitchen. Cutting. You know how they when you go to the hospital, you got a little Jello and you got a piece of cake and all that. We used to do that in the hospital. Cut like boxes and boxes of cake and all this. But I was hanging in the streets. With my boys. It was 6 of us. We all met when we were 9. And there's 2 of us left. And they killed each other.
Damn.
This is DC,
Man.
So I was out in the streets at the time while I had this job. And then one summer, I got to work through the summer at this hospital. I used to go there after school. I had to be up at 4:30 in the morning. So he would cuss me out all the way from the time he picked me up, cuss me out all day, and cuss me out on the way home and when he dropped me off. You're a no good ass motherfucker. You're going to have 5 kids by the time you 17. You ain't about shit. But it was enough that I showed up the next day to go to that job. And I didn't realize until I was on In Living Color that actually he pulled me through that period. So I went to see him at the job. I was like, Joe, and I couldn't even really say thank you. I said, don't say nothing to me. Don't say nothing to me. Hold on. And he went in his drawer. And you remember those paper cameras?
Yeah.
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 He took it out.
Little Kodak thing.
Yeah.
Green, yellow.
That you take to the
Little
pharmacy
yellow,
or whatever. You got to
yellow.
wait a couple of days to see your damn pictures, And he took a picture of me. And he put it in a drawer. And he said, that shit ain't for me. It's for my son. Because he loved your show.
Yeah.
And that was the most of him saying, hey, I thought you was going to be somebody. And I called him, to tell him thank you for that. And when I called him that day, his girlfriend answered the phone. And she said, stop playing, Tommy. And I was like, is Joe there? She was like, stop playing. Wow. And she said, Joe died last night. And the same thing happened with one of my best friends who wasn't a part of the 6 friends. He was just somebody that I met at the hospital where I was working. But he was different than my friends. For me, friends was like, if you hit one of us, we'll beat your ass, or that's the kind of friend. But he was like, you should buy you a used car because you can afford it. He should bring me over a sack of light bulbs for my little apartment. Like he was that kind of friend. And when I told him I was going to go to Hollywood and do movies, he didn't even look at me. he was in his car and he was dropping me off. And I said, yeah, I'm thinking about moving to Hollywood and getting the movies and TV. He was from Philly. And he told me, he didn't even look at me. He said, if I was you, I'd have been gone. I'd have been gone. You know, on Christmas Eve, he died in a car accident.
Damn.
But I didn't know. Right? So I called him at the job because I knew he was working. And Joe answered, the same one that, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said, hey, Tommy, how you doing, Tommy? I said, what's up? I said, where Jeff at? He said, stop playing.
Nah.
Stop kidding around, Tommy. I said, what you mean? He said, Jeff got killed last night. And that's how I found that out too, you know? And I cried. You know, that was just, you know, so I say that, you know, my life is a collection of people's love strung together to get me to this moment. I had a ceramics teacher by the name of Miss Sandberg, right? And I was really good at ceramics. Like I could make pottery, I could use a kiln. I was great. And I would have all my displays up in high school. But I ain't never want to tell nobody. Because they say, oh, you a bitch, you know, whatever, you know. Mm-hmm. So I ain't even when I told my boys that's mine, they said, get the fuck out of here, that shit ain't yours. But her and my counselor were trying to get me into Parsons or trying to get me into SMU because they had the #1 ceramics program in the country. And so my mother, she said, I don't want you to be an artist because they don't make no money like your uncle or whatever. Mm. So I stopped doing that. But funny how life goes. I was at a club years and years later after In Living Color, after movies, stardom and everything. And I got a little note. Miss Sandberg is in the back. So I went back there and she was with her kids who were grown, you know. And she said, do you remember me? I said, of course I remember you. You tried to get me into college, you know. She said, you saved my life. Mm. I said, what do you mean? She said, I had brain surgery and I had brain tumors. And when they removed them, I went into a coma. And I was in a coma for 6 months. They didn't know what was going to happen. And she said, I heard your voice. And I opened my eyes and you were on the TV in my hospital room.
Oh, shit.
And I told her, no, I didn't save your life. You know, it just came back around. What you gave me just came back around. And I've been able to experience stuff like that.
No.
You know, I went to Afghanistan and to do comedy, you know. And first of all, the freaking bomb goes off while I'm on stage. But that's a long story. But they come to me and they ask me, the brass came to my door and I was like, shit, maybe they evacuating us. And they said 3 of the Marines got shot last night outside the gate. One of them died, one of them got paralyzed, and one of them lost their foot, right? And I said, well, what does that got to do with me? You know, they said, would you go and say hi to this young man? So I said, sure. So as I'm going down there, all the brass and all the people were peeling off. And it ended up just being me and the bed. You know, in the hospital, they got the curtain around it. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying, what am I going to say to this little dude? So I just said my prayers, took a deep breath. And I opened the curtain and I looked in to him. And he had all these tubes. And he was there with his eyes closed. And he opened his eye and he saw me and he shot up. And he said, oh my God, what are you doing here? And I said, I was about to ask you the same thing.
Wow.
That's the stuff I get. You know, I went to the same hospital that I worked at because they moved the veterans to that hospital, right? Because I not only saw the soldiers that were out in the field, I also went to see the kids that were losing their legs that nobody got to see, right? So this particular time, you know, I went up there and I met a young brother from Mississippi. He was about 19, and he had lost both his legs, but he had lost the use of his legs because of a mine. He had lost one of his legs completely, but they were reattaching it to him.
What's that place in D.C. where the wounded soldiers go?
National Naval Medical Center.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's there, right? So they're attaching his foot with a rod, right? So it's you know, and some tendons from his back. So I promised them I'm going to be back and see you next time. When I came, they wouldn't let me upstairs. So I went back to the hospital I used to work in when I was 15. And 2 women were still working there. And man, they saw me, they started crying and telling them my story and stuff like that. And I went back to see if I was going to be able to go upstairs. And they told me, nah, like we said, you can't go upstairs. Dude came out of the PX right there where the door was. And he said, Mr. Davidson, you came to see me. And I said, I told you I would come to see you. And I see you still kept your legs. And he told me, yeah, and I got some brand new Jordans too. You see? So this has all been a journey, you know, because I know that today is the last day I have until tomorrow. You know? Today is the last day I have until tomorrow, and you know, you already know.
Exactly.
Do I have to?
We can't anticipate our next breath, man.
Yeah, I can't even, you know, I ain't got to even say nothing else because you know.
By the grace of God, brother. By the grace of God. Hotboxing.store. And listen, we're going to give you some goodies here.
All right, you might as well say this belong to my wife.
Yes.
Tyson 2.0.
Tyson 2.0 gummies.
Okay, you won't see me take these?
Yeah.
But I know some friends won't want them.
Oh, they're going to love them. I can't keep them on the show.
Okay. Kids,
No.
no gummies.
They would never take
Yeah, these ain't the ones from Halloween.
Yeah, nice shirt, Hotboxing. Look at this,
All right,
guys.
thank you.
Hotboxing.
Okay, cool. Me and my 3 kids gonna get in that.
All right. Oh, no, wait for this one when you can work out in.
That's new.
This is new on
Oh,
the
yeah?
market.
Hey, I didn't get that one.
You're not going to.
You know how I know this is new?
It smells.
It smells like Chinese.
Don't steal the stuff in the bag.
Thank you, man.
No,
Appreciate
it's
you,
our
boy.
pleasure, man.
Thanks for having me,
I'm
man.
so happy you're on the show with us.
Thank you, man. And I used to box.
Yeah? What gym? What gym?
I boxed out of a gym in Silver Spring, Maryland called SSI out of Washington, D.C.
Really?
And so I saw some great fighters. You know, Oakcrest was Ray Leonard's gym. There's Latin Connection. There's number 10, number 11. You know, and I competed, and it was good for me.
Huh?
It was good for me. It was good for me. As a matter of fact, one more story. All right. I was in the Potomac Valley Finals, right? And I moved up to 119 from Bantam, which was 112. So now, this year, I was fighting like...
Bantam's 119, but...
Super Bantam is 112, right?
No.
What is it?
Super Bantam's 120... No, junior featherweight, like Super Bantamweight is 122.
Right, okay. So I moved... No, 119, right?
119, the amateur.
Right, okay. So I move up from Super Bantam, whatever that was, and I move up to 119, but I'm only 16. So I'm fighting grown men.
Yeah.
Okay? And getting it. So in the Potomac Valley Finals, I fought a guy named Vincent Petaway, who I fought all the way up, you know, since we was kids, right? So my boxing coach disappeared on me. Like one day he just wasn't there.
That's the excuse you're gonna use?
You know, no. Fuck it. No. Yeah. Well, okay, it might look like it. But hold on. So now they hurt me, and I ain't work out as much as my gas wasn't ready, right? So in the 3rd round, with like 20 seconds left, I didn't get knocked out, but he just outscored me.
Wow.
So I saw him. Hold on, Hollywood story. So I'm at a party, an Oscar party, right? Years later, and he's standing right next to me. I don't know it's him, you know. And he says, "Tommy, what's up, man? Love your career and all the things you've done, you know. It's Vincent Petaway." And I was like, yeah, okay, nice to meet you, right? He's like, "Tom, it's Vincent Petaway." I said, okay. He said, "Tom." Oh, shit. And it hit me, all of a sudden hit me. And I didn't know that he went on to be a champion. He went on to do his thing. But the beautiful thing about it was we both came from the same city, and we were both champions in our own field. You know what I mean? So that's my story.
I want to tell you something funny. You know the boxer Riddick Bowe, heavyweight champ Riddick Bowe? Me and him went to school together.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, Riddick Bowe.
2 heavyweight champions from the same school.
Who won the real fight?
I never fought him.
Okay.
but we went to school together. Well, back then I would have beat him back then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, back then the school fights, back the street fights. When I was like 11, yeah, I would have beat him.
Well, thanks for the gifts, man.
I hope your friend
All
enjoyed
right.
the gummies.
Let me get back up on this pillow so I look like not a puppet. I feel like freaking Kermit the Frog in this thing.
If you think you feel that way, imagine how Habula feels.
Yeah, I'm down here like, hi, Mike.
Tommy, tens of millions of people right there.
Mm-hmm.
They want to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know how they can get in touch with you.
It's easy. The real Tommy Cat on IG will lead you to everything else.
Really?
Yeah.
Say it to them again. Make sure they don't fuck it up.
I might not be able to say it because something about the oxygen in here is crazy.
I feel that way too.
The real Tommy Cat on IG.
And that's how you get in touch with him. So this.
Are you on TikTok now too?
I am.
Official Tommy Davidson?
Yeah, but I don't really know what I'm doing.
Great job. You got some.
Yeah.
I saw them.
What's my where's
Official Tommy- It's official
Where at?
Tommy Davidson.
It's official Tommy Davidson? Oh, okay. No, because I'm just getting into that world. You know what I mean? Because, I'm a live performer, but it's something that ain't going nowhere.
Mm.
And it's something that's valuable. You know what I mean? I'm sure that when the people that were riding horses saw the first car, they were like, that shit can't even go up a hill. And now they name cars after horsepower.
Doing well.
So, thank you.
Horses do a lot of shit, and
This
you have
guy.
to get rid of that stuff.
That's another episode of Hotboxin.
Okay. So, end of another episode of Hotboxin.
Do it again. Hold on. One more time. Because I want to pose.
This is another end of an episode of Hotboxin. I'm Mike Tyson.
I'm Whoo Kid.
Hey, that's beautiful, brother. And listen, thank you very much, Tommy Davidson.
Thanks for having me,
I
bro.
love you.
My man.
And we're out.